Hey everyone, welcome to your Sunday briefing. It is now June 26th, 2022. As this will be the last briefing I give you before the primary coming up Tuesday, I want to read from you now from a prepared statement. So it is important, it's imperative to actually hear what I'm saying and then share this video because I've got some critical information to broadcast. And I'm going to be very pointed with this statement, directing it right on point to our current governor. Kevin Stitt, how many babies died in Oklahoma because you didn't have the courage to enforce Oklahoma law until the federal government gave you permission? The people of Oklahoma cannot trust you. You could have stopped abortion all along, but you thought you had to say, "Mother, may I?" You're a corrupt politician with no moral compass. You just stick your finger in the air to see which way the wind is blowing. If it's scorching from the inside from the DC Beltway, you just wither away and do nothing. Oklahomans see through the facade. They realize you're not the real McCoy. You are a puppet put up by the corruptocracy. Whoever donates the most to your campaign gets preferential treatment. Defenseless babies have no voice of their own, and you use them merely as a prop to further your own selfish political ambitions. There's no passion to protect the unborn in anything you say or do. You grandstanded and took undue credit every time the Oklahoma legislature passed a pro-life bill. Then you failed to enforce it and said, "Well, but Roe v. Wade." What, I ask, would you have done if this recent Supreme Court decision went the other way? We know the answer to that, Kevin. You would have thrown up your hands in defeat and said, "Oh well, we gave it the old college try." In the meantime, more babies would die on your watch. Now that Roe v. Wade is gone, you will find some other lame excuse to wimp out under political pressure. You're not a man of integrity who does what's right because it's right. You wait for permission to act rather than relying on your oath of office. 3.5 years ago, you swore you would support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of Oklahoma, and not knowingly receive directly or indirectly any money or any other valuable thing for the performance or non-performance of any act or duty pertaining to my office other than the compensation allowed by law. Any day now, we're going to hear that you've been indicted for one of the many emergency scandals in your administration. You refuse to do the right thing and withdraw from the primary. So you're sacrificing the good of the people of Oklahoma to your own political ambitions. You know full well what will happen if one of your self-made scandals brings you down and causes Oklahoma to default in the general election to a Democrat. The most serious result is that unborn babies will not be protected because you abandoned them. Even now, as the United States Supreme Court decision has just been announced overturning Roe, Biden's Justice Administration is vowing to interfere in matters reserved to the states. Democrat district attorneys are declaring that they will not enforce laws passed by state legislatures and signed by state governors. You're not the man to deal with this because you don't have the guts to stand up to them. Let me explain to you how the 10th Amendment works. The federal government possesses only those powers delegated or enumerated to it by the Constitution, and all other powers are reserved to the states. The 10th Amendment is the one that enshrines the concept of states' rights. This is where we must focus as we prevent Joe Biden and the federal government from overreaching into the lives of Oklahomans as they violate the U.S. Constitution. This will take more than just words. It will require a commitment that translates into immediate action. Any federal law that violates the 10th Amendment is unconstitutional and is therefore not binding upon Oklahoma or any other state. A careful reading of the Federalist Papers by James Madison, Alexander Hamilton, and John Jay helps understand that these United States are exactly what the term indicates. The states are united under one national government but retain their own individual sovereignty as states. The federal government did not create the states. The states created the federal government. Any rights not specifically delegated or enumerated to the federal government by the Constitution are retained by the states. Abortion is not the only issue where you have demonstrated that you do not understand and will not abide by the 10th Amendment. Last month, Joe Biden begged the World Health Organization to pass amendments to the international health regulations that would allow them to unilaterally declare a health emergency and overrule the U.S. Constitution and each of the state constitutions. You didn't even speak out about it because it wasn't on your radar. You were asleep at the wheel again as usual. Frankly, Oklahomans cannot trust you. You don't understand the Constitution. You don't care about the people. Apparently, the only thing that motivates you is your inordinate greed for power. You're not capable of performing your duties as governor of Oklahoma. This is becoming more obvious with every passing day. Let me ask you, Kevin, is abortion murder? If you say yes, was it murder before Roe v. Wade was overturned? Was it murder between 1973 and 2022? Was it not murder since the day you took office? Why has there even been one abortion in the state of Oklahoma on your watch? The answer is that you have utterly failed to protect the unborn. It's easy to jump on the soapbox and attract national media attention as being the most pro-life governor in America. Tell that to the babies who died while you were grandstanding. My own precious mother gave birth and chose to give me life even though she did not choose to conceive me. She understood that my life is valuable and was separate from her own even while I was still in her womb. This is what right to life really means. It isn't just a political plank to win elections. It isn't just a way to further your own political career. It means that abortion is murder and will not be permitted in the state of Oklahoma under any circumstances. Not now, not ever. There will be no exceptions. We will applaud the United States Supreme Court for reversing a disastrous decision which their predecessors made half a century ago. But this just demonstrates that the Supreme Court is not infallible. It was wrong on Dred Scott, which was overturned by constitutional amendment. It was wrong on Plessy v. Ferguson, which was overturned by Brown v. Board of Education. I ask you, Kevin Stitt, what will you do the next time Supreme Court gets it wrong rather than right? Will you say, I just have to wait until the federal government changes its mind again? I repeat my question. How many babies died in Oklahoma because you didn't have the courage to enforce Oklahoma law until the federal government gave you permission? As Oklahoma governor, with the vote of the people on June 28th and November 8th, I will enforce Oklahoma laws, including those that protect the unborn. The 10th Amendment to the United States Constitution gives me that authority. James Madison, author of the U.S. Constitution, and explained this well in Federalist Number 45. The powers delegated to the proposed Constitution to the federal government are few and defined. Those which are to remain with the state governments are numerous and indefinite. The former will be exercised principally on external objects as war, peace, negotiation, and foreign commerce. The powers reserved to the several states will extend to all the objects which, in the ordinary course of affairs, concerns the lives, liberties, and properties of the people, and the internal order, improvement, and prosperity of the state. While abortion was not specifically addressed in the U.S. Constitution, the 10th Amendment makes its prohibition the right to the states. We didn't need to wait nearly 50 years for Roe v. Wade to be overturned. Now the Supreme Court has admitted that Roe was wrong. They also admitted that abortion was not a constitutional right between 1973 and 2022. SCOTUS didn't remove abortion as a constitutional right. They realized that it was never one and that Roe got it wrong. How many babies died in Oklahoma because of that prior Supreme Court decision? Every one of them died because the incumbent governor of Oklahoma is a spineless coward who doesn't understand the United States Constitution and who hunkers down in a corner hoping the federal government will come to his rescue. It won't be the Swadley scandal or other corruption that will record your evil legacy, Kevin Stitt. It will be the voices of the innocent children crying out from the grave that you abandoned them. If Oklahomans were to give you another 4 years in office, you would back away the next time you're faced with unconstitutional overreach by the federal government. The blood of innocent lives is on your hands, Kevin Stitt. You have been unwilling to defend your record because you realize it is indefensible. Voters in the Oklahoma GOP primary can declare to the world that you are nothing but a glory hog. Your weak-kneed policies did not overturn Roe, so don't try to capitalize on the timing of the Supreme Court decision. How many babies died because you didn't have the courage to enforce Oklahoma law until the federal government gave you permission? You know me, Kevin, and you realize that I mean what I say. So do the people of Oklahoma a favor. As a veteran of the Tulsa Police Department and naturopathic doctor, I have dedicated my life to protecting the lives of others. I will honor and protect all life, including babies in the womb. I won't change if future Supreme Court changes its mind again. But you would just slink back into your hidey hole. So enjoy your 15 minutes in the spotlight. But when you go to bed tonight, pray to God Almighty to forgive you for every innocent baby that abortion killed while you were Oklahoma governor. A final word to my fellow Oklahomans. If Kevin Stitt were doing his job, I would have been the first to endorse his reelection. Before a scandal takes him down at an inopportune time, now is the time to pass the baton. Neither Kevin Stitt nor a Democratic governor of Oklahoma would stand up to Joe Biden's perverted administration and ever-increasing federal overreach. I'm alive today because my mother did not abort me. So are you, because your mother gave birth to you. Our responsibility is to ensure that the next generation of Oklahomans are equally protected and not murdered in the womb on our watch. With your vote, we will do that together. God bless Oklahoma. God bless all Oklahomans, both born and unborn. And God bless these United States of America. Thank you for your time.